Is this the protest?
We got here about 5:50 something.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys, I got you.
Hi.
We want Biden.
I thought you guys were Chicanos like us.
We want Biden to get these kids out of the cages, man.
What's that?
We want Biden to get these kids out of the cages. He put all these kids in there.
That's what we're here for, yeah.
Wait.
But we're over there. We didn't know where you guys gonna be, so.
We're from Independent Black Parade Party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you guys don't support this either then? I can't hear you, ma'am. Okay.
Did you have a very good turnout at Puente? Do you have any idea how many are coming?
Oh, I wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna let my people know what's going on. Hey guys, we are live here in Phoenix, Arizona at the ICE office on Central Avenue. And right now, hey Julie, share this out. I don't know how you share it on the Twitter, on the Twitter. We are here. Yeah, we're here in Phoenix at the ICE office, and there's supposed to be a protest going on here. A bunch of people from the organization Puente, which is advocacy group for illegal immigration. They are here to protest children in cages. I don't know. They're here to protest people being detained at the border. I think they think, oh yeah, they're having a caravan. They're having a caravan to the ICE office. So here we go.
I told them just like it is. I said 99% of these people won't take anybody in. They don't care.
Right.
They agreed. And they agreed.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because they won't. You know they won't.
Right. So there's a couple cars.
None of them will.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you guys here for the event? Who wants to tell me what brings you guys out tonight?
Well, there's going to be some spokespersons later, but
Okay, but what brings you out personally?
what brings me out personally is I believe in human rights are human rights.
And so you're opposed to human rights, people being detained at the border? Or
Well, I am, but that's all I have to say for right now because there's tickets of people.
And what brings you out tonight, sir?
I would like to see our country open to people who are seeking relief and refuge from political oppression
Okay.
and from the crime and the violence that they're fleeing. And
So
I would
you-
like to see our detention system stopped, our detention centers emptied, and ICE put out of business.
Okay, so you want just an open border, just
I would
wide
like-
open.
No, I'd like to see a decent process for accepting people who are seeking asylum under the law and under international treaties and the law.
So right now we're just releasing them into communities. What else would you like done,
We're
sir?
releasing people who are being brought to who are come to the border and have begun their process. That's a beginning of
Okay.
a decent process. Before they were being held in Mexico, not allowed to
Right.
come across the border and to begin their process.
Well, we had to, do you think that we need to look through their applications and validate their claims?
That's what they're beginning to do. For 4 years, they were
But
not
that takes
doing it.
time. That takes time,
For
right?
4 years, they weren't doing it. It
Okay.
wasn't a matter of taking time. It was a policy against doing it. Popularly known as Remain in Mexico. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So I think it was more
Now
about
we're
being an
beginning-
orderly fashion, an orderly.
No, there was nothing orderly about it. It virtually shut down the asylum process.
Well, Remain in Mexico was to validate claims.
Is this an interview
Yeah.
or a debate?
Well, it's an interview, but I'm just
I'm willing to
correcting.
debate
I'm just
if that's what
correcting
it's
some
about.
of your statements.
It is not a correction because you are wrong.
Well, people were asked to wait in Mexico while they
No,
validated
people were
their
not
claims.
asked to wait in Mexico. People were forced Korean rights
by a law.
by the United States government.
Correct. Because we have to have some sort of order.
So it's a debate.
No, that's
not a
common
question.
sense.
That's not a question.
It's common sense,
That's not a question.
right? I mean, if I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to knock on your door, right?
That's what they were trying to do.
Okay.
They were attempting to knock on the door.
Not all of them.
Oh, which ones were not?
The ones running across the border.
Oh, we're not even talking about the same thing now, are we?
Well, it's all in one. It's
No,
all
it
in
isn't
one
all in
when they
one.
all come in at
It
once.
is not all in one.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
The ones that runs it? You guys one of the ones that runs it?
No.
Runs what?
This,
No puede.
this event now.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Chicana lady. Yeah, una chicanita.
So far we just have the white guilters.
Mostly.
Mostly. It's cold in Arizona tonight.
Cold. It is. It's cold right now.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Now you know. I've never
So-
dealt with the group. I never dealt with this
I
group.
know.
I guess.
I'll try to see if it's any of that same ones from the last time.
We'll
It was
find
cold
out.
in
Come on.
California too.
That's all you have to do.
It was way-
They're cute though. Those two are cute.
Yeah.
They have no idea what.
No idea.
But they're nice. But they're nice, you know. They're not hateful, angry lefties. You never know. Okay, so not much of a protest, more
We
of a
went by
little
to close
social
the cages
gathering.
and stop caging children like animals too. But the difference is we want them sent back home.
Right. Right.
And what did they say on the news the other day? They said that a large majority of
All right. So, hello.
who do you think they groom?
Come on.
You know? No, wait a second. That's who they groom for their gang shit and everything else. These young teenagers.
Yeah.
No, let them get going.
They're going. Come on. Come on. Yeah, they're going. Come on. Plus, there's sunshine over here. Can you grab my lemonade? My lemonade?
No peace until we see release. No justice, 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 no peace until we see release. Shame on you, life! Shame on you, and the Biden administration. The honoring their own moratorium. Not knowing how to count to 100.
It's cold. Come
Did
on.
she just make a negative comment about the Biden administration?
Uh-huh.
It's Friday. We should be, TGIFing it, but instead, we're out here holding you accountable once again. 1 year later, you still don't know how to count. 1 year later, you are still not complying with human rights standards. 1 year later, you are still infecting individuals. 1 year later, you are still killing people within your detention centers, your filthy, inhumane detention centers. And 1 year later, you are still committing the highest of the human rights abuses. Having children in cages.
Give me my flag. Switch it.
For good time's sake.
I mean, our community's out
Yeah.
here and we want some sort of explanation. Free them all! Free them all! Free them all! Free them all!
Too bad the ground's hard.
Free them all! Free them all!
Too hard.
Free them all! We agree with your plan. We agree with your plan.
Nice.
Like, fuck Trump and fuck Biden.
That's why we're joining you. Fuck Joe Biden.
No, on the bottom.
Oh, and fuck you for voting for him.
Oh, okay.
My boyfriend's potty mouth. Hello. Keep it. I think he anointed me.
We cannot believe that we are here.
Have you taken any children from the border? Have you taken any home? You guys voted for Biden, right? No? Okay, well you got that good going for you. You didn't vote at all?
Not for the federal election. I'm going to give the news a shot.
Yes, give him that.
Give the news a shot.
Yes. Stand over here next to him though, and let it fly a little bit.
There you go. Put that on your 5 o'clock news.
They're leaving. Have you adopted kids from the border yet? Have you taken any migrant children home yet?
Not this time.
But there's so many more.
Yes, we know.
And what are you gonna do with them? What do you suppose we do with children?
What we did,
Well, what do you suggest we do with all these
what we did with
children?
your ancestors.
Mine immigrated here legally. My mom became a citizen in the 80s.
How did that happen?
She went through the legal process.
Oh, I see. She applied back in her country,
Yes, my grandmother did.
so she was no refugee, was she?
My grandmother, yeah, she was fleeing the World War II.
Oh, and so the government she was fleeing gave her permission to leave? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nazi
it was
Germany,
after the
maybe?
war. It was after the war.
Or Italy? Or Japan?
So what do you suggest we do with all these children? Just
I
let them
suggest we
go?
put them in school.
But
I
who's going to
suggest
take
we
care of
educate
them? But schools are closed for American children.
Most of them. No.
So you want to open
you
schools
live
for
in Arizona?
another country's citizens?
Do you live in Arizona?
Wait, hold on a second, sir.
No. Do you live in Arizona?
Yes.
Do you think all the schools are closed in Arizona?
They have been.
They're not now.
Okay. So in-person
And they've
learning,
never all been closed.
100% in-person learning is back?
They have never all been closed.
No, they have never all. Thank God for charter schools.
And not
Right.
so many public schools.
Right. So what do you suppose we do with all these children?
Most of them have family in the United States.
So just let them go?
Most of them are being separated from their families.
So we see a 6-year-old running across, just let him go?
I think they should be sent to be with their families.
But what do you do with them? Just let them carry on?
You have to hold and you have to
Who?
arrange with families.
Who does?
The Office of Refugee Resettlement.
Okay, and that's
that has the responsibility for it under the law,
Right.
with the Department of Health
And that
Services.
takes time to process,
That takes
correct?
time. That's exactly right.
So what do we do with these children while they're being processed?
I don't understand why you keep asking the question when it's already been answered.
You're against detaining people or holding people or sheltering people
am
or
against.
helping people.
You don't know what I'm against. You don't have any idea.
No, but they want to release them all. Release.
You know when my ancestors
everybody
came
gets
to this
released.
country?
When?
In the 17th century. On
Okay.
both sides of the family.
Okay, very
And
nice.
they were immigrants.
Okay.
And they had no permission from their country. And they had no permission from this
Right.
country. Because this country
was this
didn't
country
exist.
yet? Exactly.
Okay.
So do we live our life right now by the laws of the 1700s or do we live by the
Are
present
those
law?
laws?
Well, there was no country.
Was it a flaw that your family came here?
No, it was
And they were
intentional.
refugees from what?
They were intentional. It was an intentional immigration.
What were they refugees from?
There was no work after the war.
Oh, economic refugees.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're opposed to economic refugees now?
No, as long as you do it the legal, proper way.
Uh-huh. So it was after the war. So what were they doing during the war?
America is a welcoming country. But
What are they doing during
but
the
you
war?
gotta come. You gotta follow the law to get here. You have to follow the process
Do you know
to
what
get here.
laws of asylum are?
You don't just pack your family and
Do
run.
you know what laws of asylum are?
Yes, and you really believe that all these people suddenly are claiming asylum
I think all of them have a right to request.
now that Joe Biden is elected and he said, sure, come over here and open up the border and stop wall
That's
construction.
bullshit.
And
That's
President
bullshit,
Trump
I know it.
handed him a pretty secure border.
How can you spout that kind of bullshit?
President Trump handed Biden a pretty secured border.
Oh, right.
But Biden chose to stop production
Sure,
on the
he
wall.
did. Yeah, oh, very secure.
Right?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
You guys were against the wall. You're against anything that protects the sovereignty of this
How do you
country.
know what everybody here believes?
Because it all goes hand in hand.
I see. No, it's because on your side of things,
Well, his
everything
sign says end
everything goes
police
hand in hand on your side of
and
things,
abolish
right?
ICE.
Yeah.
So, do you support abolishing ICE?
I do support abolishing ICE.
Yes.
I do support abolishing
Right.
ICE. I absolutely do.
So you support deporting rapists and murderers? That's what ICE does.
No, you did not say that.
That's what ICE does.
Bullshit.
ICE deports criminal illegal aliens. That is the primary responsibility of the department.
Where do you get your information?
Do you know what ICE does, sir?
Where do you get your information?
Do you know what ICE does?
Where do you get your information?
I show up and I ask questions and
Where?
I visit things
Where?
personally.
Where? Have you been in a detention center?
Yes,
Where?
in Yuma.
In Yuma? There is none in Yuma.
Yes, there is.
No, there is
Yes,
not.
there is.
Okay.
It's at the Border Patrol
Give me
Processing
the address
Center.
where the detention center is in Yuma.
When I was there were hundreds of them in the building.
But there is no detention center there.
It's the Border
There
Patrol
is a Border
Processing
Patrol
Center.
Processing Center.
And that's where they were holding
Have
them.
you been in a
Yes.
detention center?
Yes, here.
Where?
I just told you, in Yuma.
There is none in Yuma. So where have you been in a detention center?
That's where they're holding them. I've seen them come across. Holding
isn't
on
the
to little
question.
girls.
That's not the question.
I've seen a lot more than you have, sir,
That
with
wasn't the
this.
question. Oh, have you?
Oh, yes.
When did you start doing this?
2019,
2019.
when the caravans
I've been
started
involved
coming.
in it since 1970.
Great.
So that's a lot longer than I have,
Great.
isn't it?
And how many groups have you seen
So
cross?
you know a lot
Have you seen
more.
them cross?
I've seen them cross. I've seen them leave Guatemala. I've seen them leave Mexico. I've seen them ride the trains in Mexico.
Have you seen them purchase children
have had
along the
people
way
in
in
my-
Mexico?
I've
Have you
had
seen
peop-
them purchase children along the way in Mexico?
No, I have not.
Okay.
No, I have not. Neither have you.
Oh, yes, I have.
Do you speak Spanish?
I have visited shelters in Tijuana, sir. And it's a migrant staging area.
Habla el español muy bien.
I don't speak Spanish. I don't
Then
need
you
to.
don't know what was going on in
Oh,
Tijuana.
I had translators.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
Yes, I thoroughly researched
At least that's
this.
one place you weren't able to take your gun in your cowardly way.
I'm sorry that frightens you, but I, as a woman,
It
have a
doesn't frighten
right
me
to
a bit.
protect myself.
I was shooting guns when I was 10 years old.
Great. Then
I
you would
was a hunter.
respect a woman's
I
right to
own
protect
guns
herself.
now.
Then you would
I
respect a
don't have a
woman's
need to-
right to protect herself.
I don't have a need to wear them in public.
Well, then it's your right.
That's my right. It's your right.
My body, my choice, right?
Sure.
There you go. So how many children will you be taking home from the border?
The children need to be sent to be with their families.
And
we
if their
do-
families are back home?
And we do have a process
And if
for
their
that.
families are back home?
Ma'am, you're not understanding what's going
Should
on.
we deport the children?
You're not understanding what's
Oh,
going on.
I understand 100%. What about the children that are brought here by coyotes and smugglers and traffickers?
Some are.
Yes. So we just let them in?
What would you do with the children?
They need to go back home to their families.
How would you do that?
Well, they shouldn't. I'd complete the wall first so that it's not an open
What do
door.
you do with the children in the meantime?
Well, it's a tough situation, but they've got to be reunited with their families. How many American children are in foster homes? We have our own to take care of.
Most of the children have families here in the United States.
Well, what the hell kind of a mother would leave their child behind?
A mother who's desperate
Bullshit.
and has watched her son.
Bullshit. You not take your children with you.
You don't know a thing.
Yeah, I would not leave my child
Have you-
and toss my child over the fucking border wall. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a question.
If I did that, I'd be arrested for child abuse.
Let me ask you a question.
They don't abide by the same laws we do. He walked away. Jesus Christ.
They're
It's
no
like
longer
arguing with
required. Especially when you're by yourself.
Right. Cross to the other side with me.
La policía, la migra. La policía, la migra, la misma porquería. No justice, no peace, until we see release. No justice, no peace, until we see release.
Mike's on the other side. Yeah, I know, huh? I'm bored. We're back to the kids in cages. Why are there so many kids in the cages? Where did Mike go? Does he have the flag?
You don't understand the ridiculousness of us having to take a chance about taking children. That's right.
Looks like they're stopping traffic here. Ooh.
So that photographer took our camera recorder and he put it up to us.
Yeah.
And then he put it back in his pocket. But I think
They're probably just writing a story. Okay, good.
January 6th. They want their criminal back.
So what are we gonna do with all these kids?
The first step is prayer.
Okay.
So we're going to pray for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't burn me. And then what?
It's complicated.
I know. Do you think Biden announced for all these people to come?
No, not necessarily. I think like United States international policy has really devastated these countries, and these U.S. policies
fault?
Well, yeah, American greed. You know, like the argument is like U.S. companies are providing jobs in foreign countries, but at sweatshop labor, they're pretty much paying sweatshop labor costs.
Okay. So we should find businesses that hire illegal immigrants. Is that what you're saying?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. What I'm saying
We're outsourcing our goods to be made.
I don't know what the solution is, but the current international policy that the United States has is really devastating countries, causing mass migration this way.
Do you have a sister or a girlfriend or a mom?
Of course.
Okay. And you would want to do anything to keep them safe, right? So if somebody came in your home and like assaulted your little sister or your mom, you'd be highly upset, correct?
So if we go back to
well, you know that's what ICE does, right? So ICE deports criminal, illegal aliens, rapists, murderers.
Maybe that's a small minority, but majority is working people.
They don't just go door to door knocking on doors and deporting people.
But first of all, ma'am,
it takes a long time to be deported.
Let's go back to 1776.
No. I want to talk about 2021.
Let's go back to 1776.
Because we live now. We don't live in 1776.
America was founded in two crimes. The stolen land.
Okay.
And slavery.
Do you think? Okay, but I'm gonna stay on this point. We can get to your stolen land in a second, but ICE that you want to abolish and get rid of,
But hold on. What I'm saying is that the United States government is illegitimate.
Okay.
So like everything that comes after ICE, also illegitimate. And the only reason why it's kept
Did you get a stimulus check?
Yes, I did.
Did you spend it?
Yes, I did. Did you?
I haven't received it yet, no.
How'd you like that socialism?
No, but if it's illegitimate, that came from the government. You can't accept that. You're a fraud.
I'm not a fraud.
You're a fraud. You can't say that you're...
I didn't choose where I was born,
You are
man.
utilizing the benefit of this government that you say is non-existent. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, but it's still illegitimate, no matter what.
No, it's legitimate.
No.
It's a legit government.
Violence, the only way this is kept intact is through violence. A monopoly of violence.
We fought a war, we bought it. We bought the land also. And we fought and we won it. That was a time where it was conquering land.
It was kind of like The Godfather giving you an offer you couldn't refuse.
They took it.
Yeah.
That doesn't illegitimize the nation. They took the money. The deal is done. That's like you sell your house and you take the money and then you say, oh, I still want to live here.
That's your colonial thinking.
No,
though.
that's common sense, young man.
You can't sell Mother Earth. So that's like...
Well, it's been done. So we can move past the stolen land part because we didn't steal it. We paid for it.
No, stolen.
No, we paid for it.
Stolen.
How is it stolen if we paid for it?
You can't pay for Mother Earth.
But we did, and they accepted the money, and they turned over the land.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so we can move past that. So
That's
back
all-
to my point.
That's all
Back
a
to
sham.
my point.
It's all a sham.
ICE
It's all a
deports
sham.
criminal illegal aliens.
ICE is
rapists, murderers. So if somebody came in your home and raped your mother, right? They broke in your house like someone breaks in our country.
Just like Americans did.
And they raped your mother. You would not want them removed from your home?
So this goes back to 1492.
Oh my gosh. That's what's wrong with you people. You're confused. You need to come into the present, to reality.
Okay, let's deal
It's
with reality. In the present.
Yes.
What would you
Thanks
do
for
with
talking
children?
to me.
Yeah.
What's that?
What would you do with children?
Well,
If you told me a while ago, if you threw your baby over the fence,
I'd be arrested.
you'd be arrested. But
Right.
what would the people do with the child? What would you want them
You
to do with
take
the
your
child?
child and you come the legal proper
No, no,
way.
no.
If you
No,
have to
this
wait,
is
they're
after it's-
entitled.
This is after it's
They
happened.
feel entitled. They're not. They can
You
seek
don't want to deal
refuge
with
in
that, do you?
Mexico.
I don't blame you.
They can seek refuge in
I
Mexico.
was talking about you.
Okay, if I have a child with me and I am seeking refuge, I'm going to stop in the first place I land. First of all, I'm not going to country shop and say, oh no, I don't want to stay in Mexico. I want
Really?
to keep moving to the United States.
Okay.
If I am truly in fear of my life and running for safety, I'm going to take the help from the first place that offers it. They're coming here.
That's good. I hope you'll have that
Specifically.
opportunity.
Well, I don't
Be
need that
good.
opportunity. I mean, I'm blessed enough
How do you
to.
know you won't have that opportunity?
Well, if Democrats keep destroying America,
Yeah,
we
see?
might have to
See,
run
if
somewhere
you-
else.
If you follow your philosophy, you
My
will have
kids
that
are grown
opportunity,
though.
won't you?
My children are grown, so I mean, I would definitely grab them and we would all flee, but I would never leave my child behind.
Have you?
I would
I'm
never leave my child behind.
good. I'm glad. I'm very glad that that's true. I'm wondering, have you ever seen one of your children murdered in front of you?
No.
I've been talking with a number of people who have.
Right.
I've
It's not an excuse to break into our
Oh,
country.
of course not.
We have violence here too.
We should stay
There
right
are
here.
American mothers who have seen their children murdered.
That's true.
We have our own violent
That's
cities
true.
here.
That's true.
So I don't want to hear they're running from violence. We have violence here.
You don't want to hear anything.
Well, it's
If
not
you're
commonsensical. It's not an excuse.
If you're honest, you don't want to hear anything.
It's not an excuse. You want to make excuses for people.
If you had murders going on in your neighborhood, would you walk the street openly?
When I want to what?
Walk the street openly?
No, I wouldn't live there.
Oh, why?
I would move.
You would move?
Mm-hmm.
You would flee?
Yes.
That's an excuse?
No.
My God, violence is an excuse?
No.
Can you imagine?
I would do it within the laws. I wouldn't break into your house, sir, because you had more food than I do.
Nobody broke into your house.
This is our home. This
Who
is our
broke
country.
into your house?
The millions of
Who
illegal
broke into your house?
aliens.
Nobody broke into your
The
house.
millions of illegals that
Nobody
come
broke
in
into your
this
house.
country.
You're just,
This country is our
you're
home,
just
sir.
bullshitting.
Our country is our home.
My country is my country too.
Yes.
It's been my country a lot longer than it's
And
been
it's
your
your
country.
home.
But
And it's your home, right?
and what I do with my home is I share my home.
Great. So I could just kick your back door in and take what I want?
No.
Well,
And
that's what's
nobody is-
happening.
Did they do that to you?
Not to me. Yes, they do it to my tax
What,
dollars.
what did the police do when you reported
To
it?
my tax dollars.
What did the police
They,
do when you
they
reported
put
it?
them on a bus and transported them
When you
to the
reported
nearest
that
church.
they kicked in the door
Yes.
and broke into your home.
Yes.
I see. The police came and put them on a bus. Now, does
Yes.
that make
Border
any sense
Patrol
to you?
came. That's exactly what's happening,
Does that
sir.
make any sense to you?
People come in this country illegally. They kick the back door in.
You are so crazy. Wow.
The back door
Amazing.
is a symbolism of the border wall.
You know, it would be
the
interesting.
non-existent in some areas.
How about thinking about it as a front
But Trump
door?
was building it.
about-
Yes, they should knock on the front door.
How about thinking
We
about
would
the border
welcome
as a
them.
front door? No, we
No,
wouldn't.
we would
What
welcome
happened
them.
when people came in the last 4 years, came to the border, knocking on the door, on the front door, according to international,
Right.
listen,
They had to wait in
do
line.
you ever listen to anybody?
Yes, they had to wait in
When
line.
do you ever listen to anybody?
You just said, what happened when the people came to the door? They had to wait in line. They were given a number and said, go wait in Mexico.
You said they would be allowed into the
Hi.
process.
You're that girl that stole your family's identity.
I did not, but you know what? I have all my rights back, and my case was dismissed. So thanks for checking on me. Anyway, so we now I lost my train of thought.
This is a lot of fun
Punk
for
ass
you, but
kids.
you don't have any skin in the game. So what difference does it
Absolutely,
make?
100%. My family is legal immigrants.
You don't have any skin in the
Nobody
game.
has the right to cut the line. Can't
Nobody
cut.
has the right to
No
cut the line.
cutsies. No cutsies.
What line is that you're saying?
The line of people that have been waiting to get in here legally.
What do you know about that?
What do I know what?
About the legal process for asylum seekers.
Yes, the legal process. You have to come and claim and present yourself. You don't run through the side of the bushes there when no one's looking.
Okay,
you got to present
you don't
yourself.
know what it is you want to argue against. Make up your mind.
I'm not arguing.
A moment earlier,
I'm correcting you.
A moment earlier, we were talking about people who came to the border, to the port of entry.
Port of entry. That's important.
Asked for asylum.
Okay.
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 How about we talk about that for a minute?
Yes.
What about them?
They need to have their cases validated right there. So we need to be able to know if they're telling the truth.
And do you know that some of those people have been waiting for 2 years for their number to come to have that happen?
Great. Maybe they don't have all their documents in order. Maybe they don't have all their proof together. They don't have everything that they need to get through, obviously.
You've got a lot of maybes.
No, exactly. They're all different. Their cases are different. They're not all the same.
If you will bother to look into what was happening,
yeah.
I don't suppose you will, but
I have.
If you do,
I have.
You'll find out they were not being allowed to be interviewed.
Have you ever sat in the immigration court?
How do you? Yes, I have sat in immigration.
So
many
have
of them.
So
I've sat in this office. I've bonded people out from this office.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've visited detention centers for the last decade.
Ditto.
Okay. Oh, ditto?
Yes.
You went to one border patrol in Yuma.
No, not for one border patrol
one
in Yuma.
Border patrol in Yuma. That's what you told me.
No, sir.
That's what you told me.
No, sir.
Okay. What detention center? Let's start there again. What detention center have you visited?
We've been down to the Eloy one.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
And did you visit any people there?
Yes, we've spoken to people. They're coming here looking for work. They don't have valid claims of asylum.
What people did you speak with there?
Oh my God. People that ran across the border illegally, not a port of entry. People that just ran across.
When did you do this?
2019, spring of 2019.
Spring of 2019.
Yes.
And you were able to judge their whole case.
No, we spoke to them before they got.
Right?
We spoke to people with a translator, and they came here with coyotes, paying criminal.
They may well have paid coyotes.
Yes.
But that isn't the question.
Okay. So
that's very interesting, but it's not the question.
Okay.
There's a moon out tonight too.
Okay.
But that's not the question.
What's your question?
The question was, how did you, ahead of the judges, ahead of ICE, ahead of everybody?
We spoke to them before they came here, before they got on the buses.
So they weren't in the detention center.
And then yes. Where do you think they go? They get separated at the Border Patrol checkpoint. And if they have criminal records,
to the Border Patrol checkpoint.
Yes, because that's where they start.
The question was about Eloy.
That's where they start.
Do you remember the question?
They go to Eloy when they have criminal backgrounds.
No.
When they've violated immigration issues and they're being held there. Yes.
Not true.
There's certain areas
I was there yesterday.
Okay, great. I haven't been there in 2 years.
How often have you been there?
It's been 2 years since I've been to Eloy.
And who did you visit?
That's neither here nor there.
Did you go to a detention court?
No. I've been in this court over here.
Did you talk with ICE officers there?
On 7.
Did you talk with ICE officers there?
Mm-hmm.
At Eloy?
Yes.
Okay, and what did they tell you?
That people are coming to this country looking for work. They're not coming here claiming asylum because they're fleeing persecution and fear of their lives. They are coming here looking for work. And if they have criminal backgrounds, that all gets sorted out then. That's why they're being held. That's why they're being detained. Okay.
I'm afraid you're wrong.
Okay. They're not allowed to talk to. You know what? There's a lot that I support and a lot I don't support. So it goes, I think that people have a right to talk to an attorney.
You think?
Okay?
You think?
But in their own country.
Let me give you if you're interested, you may not be interested, but in a human story, I sat down to meet with a grandmother from El Salvador in Eloy Detention Center.
Okay. Talk louder, because
she had committed
no crime.
I'm not interested in your video.
Okay.
She had committed no crime in her country or in Mexico or in our country.
Okay.
She had her grandchild with her when she left El Salvador because the mother had been murdered in front of the child.
Okay.
And the threat was that she would be murdered.
Okay.
and the grandchild.
Okay.
That might be, you might call it an excuse. I call it a reason.
Okay, so she
to
took the
flee.
grandchild. She
I
fled.
think it's a reason to go.
Okay.
Okay. She got to the border.
Where?
The grandchild was separated from her.
What border?
U.S. border.
So why didn't she just stay in Mexico?
What would she do in Mexico?
Work?
What would you do in Mexico?
Work?
How would you have you worked in Mexico?
What's that?
How long have you lived in Mexico?
I've never lived in Mexico.
I have.
Okay.
I have, and my
Okay.
daughter does.
And millions do too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
it wasn't good enough for her?
no, what I'm asking you is, how do you know so much about something you've never experienced?
Well, I travel there, but
How did you get to
people
be,
work in Mexico.
How did you get to be such an
People
expert?
work
Of
and
course
live
they
in
do.
Mexico.
Of
But
course
that
they
wasn't
do.
good enough for the grandmother?
It wasn't possible for the grandmother.
Why?
But
Why?
are you wanting to hear the story? I guess not.
Why wasn't it possible for her to
I'm
stay
not
in
gonna wa- I'm not going to
Mexico?
waste any more time.
You want to talk to me, so stop walking away because you keep coming back. I mean, I'm sorry. If she was fleeing for her life, right? If she was fleeing for her life with a grandchild, you would stop in the first country you landed in and say, help me. You don't get to country shop because Mexico isn't good enough for you.
Hi.
So how about no? I have no sympathy for that. I don't. That
Me neither.
fucking old man. Their hearts are bleeding so much they've lost their common sense. So he's like, let me tell you a story of a grandmother I met in El Salvador.
Well, listen.
Who had her grandchild because the mother was murdered in front of her, and then she got separated from the grandchild at the U.S. border. Well, why did she go to the U.S. border? Why didn't she stay in Mexico?
Right.
She fled El Salvador
Right.
because of violence. Well, guess what? We have violence
We
here
have violence here too.
But why not stay in Mexico and look for work? It wasn't good enough for you? You wanted to come to America for the free shit?
They can't get free shit there. It's exactly right. They don't get free shit there.
Right.
But here's my thing though is they've actually admitted that Biden fucked up.
Right.
But didn't we try to warn them that he was a lying piece of shit and that
yeah.
he wouldn't do what he said
They
he was
don't
going
care.
to do? We did. We warned them all throughout October, all through. Nobody wanted to listen. But guess what? When Trump left office, there were no kids in cages.
That's right.
The border crossings were at a 20-year low.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're at an all-time high.
Yep.
Because of
Democrats.
this asshole and these assholes who voted for him.
Yep.
No sympathy.
None. Will you? Annoying. Will you be taking home some children from the border, sir? Taking home.
I hope in time that I could be a part of that organization that helps those little kids.
Did you vote for Joe Biden?
Yeah.
You did? No, honest question. Did you? He doesn't know. It's okay. I can find you some help. Just kidding. Do you think Biden made things worse at the border?
We continue to organize.
I never been, I haven't been down there.
You haven't been down to the border? Let me see your sign. But you support freeing everybody, even children that have been brought here by smugglers
Free the world.
or traffickers.
Free the world.
You don't think that those children have a right to be protected?
They have a right.
That is a crime. Destruction.
Do you have kids?
When you incarcerate.
If you threw your child into another country, you'd be arrested for child abuse. Would you ever send your child by themselves to another country?
President Biden, you lied.
Gotta think about it. Like, we have to protect them, the ones that can't speak for themselves, or maybe with strange men.
And to that we say, shame on you.
Did you hear what she said? How he's following the legacy of Obama, right? Why'd you vote for him then?
Because they don't know any better. All right, I'm over this. Let's go. Feed me.
Idiots.
Feed me.
None of them have anything to bitch about.
All right, guys, we are out of here. Share it wide. All right, I'm over it. Let's go.
Yep.
I gotta pee and I'm hungry.